When it comes to Vagabond, the contrast life-death is the first thing that comes to my mind, and consequently, the voyage to walk not just outside, but also inside, in order to grasp the true meaning of being invincible under the sun. Every journey has to start from somewhere, and Vagabond, I think, has one of the greatest prologues in manga, and let me tell you why. From the beginning, we can see the difference in Takezo and Matahachi's eyes, emboldened by the flame of ambition, but with a difference. While one aims for the top of the world, Matahachi's eyes are fixated on Takezo's back, and so, if Takezo says he wants to live through Sekigahara's battle, so does Matahachi. If Takezo wants his name spread across all the lands of Japan, same goes for Matahachi, who can't help but keep chasing his friend, and despite that, be always one step behind. But something darker hides deep in his heart. A toxic envy putting in doubt his loyalty and inevitably generating a one-sided rivalry, further complicating his flawed nature as a weak character. Oko and Akemi are the perfect incidents along the path, temptations to stray away from the samurai way. But while Takezo does not fall for them, Matahachi feels just so outmatched that, the moment he sees an opportunity to get ahead of his rival friend, to take something away from him, no matter how or what, he cannot resist and betrays him, putting himself before anything and anyone, no matter the cost. If we had to divide the prologue into two parts, this is where I would. The Tsujikaze's clan's defeat doesn't simply separate Takezo and Matahachi's fate, even if shortly. It also sets up Kohei's encounter that, in a far future, will give Musashi a glimpse at a life freed from the seemingly inescapable spiral of killing and death. One step closer to true strength. And as for Matahachi, well, it only gets much worse from here, losing sight of his family, friends, love, of himself. So the story proceeds in parallel with him falling lower and lower under his rival's shadow and away from his dreams, with Takezo keeping on taking life after life with no respect for its worth, like a beast, killing until eventually getting killed. But is it really all life amounts to? That's what Takezo starts wondering about when caught by Takuan and Otsu and hanged on a cedar tree. Now, this is the climax leading to Takezo's death. I did a quick research and found out that the cedar tree in Japanese folklore has a strong spiritual significance. Its food is burned in cleansing ceremonies for purification, and the tree is also thought to house gods and to be an entrance to higher realms. And so naturally, it's here, in Miyamoto village, that Musashi starts his real voyage as a vagabond. The same cannot be said for Matahachi, who will need a lot more time, pain and regrets to get back from his detours. And actually, I think I couldn't have used a better term than regrets. Because Matahachi never steps up or takes a chance to fix his life. He never has disappointments because he just never tries to do anything but pity himself and cry. If Matahachi ever lacked anything besides a bunch of virtues, I believe Takuan was what, or rather who, he needed the most. A character exquisitely serving as guidance. So, back to Takezo hanged on a tree like a salami. I cannot express how much I appreciate moments so static in terms of movement, but so dynamic for character development. We see Takezo alone, under the rain, frozen by the moon, scorched by the sun and stared at by the crows, bored of the view from up there, and so finally taking a good look at himself, confronting his life decisions that have led him to where he is now. A beast of the mountains, a demon for his village, forsaken and shunned from his parents. Is there really more to life? He wonders. Why can he not decide when and how to die all of a sudden. Why does he have to be so humiliated? He would never beg for his life. No, not Takezo. As a helpless beast, he can only roar at Takuan, who has the upper hand, but it's only fair after desecrating life. This is where Takuan decides to believe and execute Takezo, giving him a new chance, a new life, giving birth to Musashi at a boulder bathed in sunlight, where Takezo used to take shelter and rest, in my opinion, symbolic of the real meaning behind Invincible Under the Sun, rather than unrivaled. There is more to life than slicing down opponents until getting sliced down. It is not worth, and regrettably, Takezo cries for such an unfulfilled life. He cannot smile in his last moments. He never was appreciative of life, of the world in its entirety and fractions, of life in fact, not death. So, reborn as Musashi Miyamoto, he starts carrying his origins in the name. Not to forget his past and to look at the future with different eyes. And that's where Vagabond truly starts, with unresolved betrayals, expected and unexpected duels. Many questions to answer, and perhaps the lesson that we may only understand and embrace something after losing a lot of battles.